Okay, good afternoon,
everybody. Welcome to the almost last session. I'm Zoltán Lehóczky. I also go by the name Piedone on the forums. So if you are currently using a module that's namespace starts with Piedone dot, then it's from me. And I'll talk about search engine optimization. And by that, I mean strictly on-site search engine optimization for now. And of course it will be an orchard. So how to make an orchard site in a few hours probably, with some pretty simple tips and straightforward techniques, more or less search engine optimized. Okay, just a little bit about me. I'm from Budapest, actually not just from Budapest, but a town nearby. That's the capital of Hungary. I'm a computer science student on the Óbuda University, and I've been involved in Orchard for a year. Actually, with Benedek and the third guy named Szecskó Tamás. We run the Hungarian Orchard site, and we are the co-founders of the Hungarian Orchard community. You can also read our English blog. We rise under english.orchardproject.hu. You are very welcome to comment as well. Yeah, just the topic in detail. First I will talk about some very useful modules that are already available in the Orchard gallery. You can download any day and install. That will definitely help you optimize your site. I'll also show some very simple techniques with a few lines of code, and in the end you will see the brand new SEO module, a product of One Stop Internet Incorporated. That was actually the last slide, and now I continue with the demos. I set up a very simple Orchard site here, and also installed and built some modules targeted for search engine optimization. And I would like to start with analytics, because I think the first thing you want to have when starting search engine optimization is to be able to view visitor data. So let's see how to add some tracking code, some Google Analytics tracking code to your site. There's a module in the Orchard gallery that has the name. Oh, I have no mouse now. That has the name Google Analytics, and it was actually developed by Chad Sharp. And then the settings page loads, yeah, you will see that it had some configuration options under general settings. Here you have to fill out a Google Analytics tracking key, and I advise you to choose async tracking, because what now it does, it adds the Google Analytics asynchronous tracking code to the header of the page. So when we look at the source, here it is. Because it's asynchronous, it won't block your page loading. After your page is loaded, it will safely run the tracking codes for Google Analytics. So now you can see who visits your site and how many visitors are there. But probably you also want to use some other tools, just like Google Webmaster Tools. And when you use such tools, you have to identify yourself as the owner of the website. Now with Google Analytics and Google Webmaster Tools, it's not so hard, because with Google Webmaster Tools you can simply authorize yourself with analytics tracking code. So if you have an analytics tracking code on your site, you can with a button click authorize yourself. But if you don't have one and you just want to use Webmaster Tools with some other tracking code, you can try the website owner module by Konstantin Pankov is the guy. that adds a menu item to the dashboard menu. It's called website owner, and basically you can fill out this little form to generate a meta tag. So that will be maybe Google verification code and not my computer. What the heck? Okay. This computer is weak today. The name should be Google Site Verification for Google, and yeah, the content should be anything pretty much. That Google gives of course you, but I don't have one ready because this is just a demo. And that will add some meta tag to the header as well. And here it is. So you can add an arbitrary number of such meta tags with this module, and then you can verify your ownership of a site very quickly and easily. Okay, now we ideally have full analytics, and we can measure everything. So start with the actual optimization. Probably the most important way to start this approach would be to write well-written and well-structured, semantically structured content. So probably the first thing you want to tell your editors or keep in mind is to always write nicely structured content items. For example, let's see a simple page that will be true. You can see I've already tested it, even 3 times. And that will be some longer content. Is this control here stuck or what? Yeah.
Some of your keyboard keys might be lost, like bouncing on shift.
Yeah, but it looks alright. So I don't know. I probably stick to W. That works. Okay, so let's imagine you want to write a page about letters, and you start with W. And you want to have a title here. So you want to have this title, as an actual title. That's probably not obvious for non-technical users, but even for search engines, but also very much for a good user experience, you want to structure your page with headings. The title part that's used by page adds an H1 to the article section that surrounds the content item. So probably you want to start with H2, and here we have another H2. That's a longer W series. And now we have some semantic structure here. That's actually very simple, but that's a good start. And if you want to emphasize something, for example, a series of very nice W, then you want to use the emphasize tag. This in TinyMC actually says italic, but as we will see, it actually surrounds the text with an emphasize tag. And now that's a semantic tag. It's a debate, or it's a question rather, how much search engine spiders will take semantic tags in the account. It's pretty sure they take it into account. So even for search engine optimization, or generally to have a nice clean structure for your content, you have to use semantic formatting. And also a very quick tip for adding images. When you fill out the alternative text of an image, you see I've opened Media Picker. Okay, let's get back. I've opened Media Picker. It has an alternative text box for images. So this is the alt attribute of an image, and this is probably the most simple way to start with for optimizing for image search engines. So this is a very nice image. I don't know where I got it, but it should be an RS logo. But as you may see, this is an O.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. And now we have a nice structured and semantic page. It will definitely be better for search engines and also for users than something cluttered or simply by simply using span tags or divs for formatting instead of semantical tags. Now that's for content. Now we should have analytics and well-structured content, at least on the content item level. But we only have to have a nicely structured theme. Now, as you may know, Orchard has a pretty nice layout. It's HTML5. It has all the HTML5 semantic sections like header. There are articles too, nav, everything. So when you use the built-in themes, or you build a theme based on pretty much the built-in shapes, then you can't go wrong with that. But when you download a new theme from the gallery, you should probably pay attention to its structure. But I think most of the themes should be of very good quality from that point of view in the gallery. Yeah, and of course, since this is MVC, you have complete control over the markup. So when if I would like to add something to the markup, you could do that by overriding some shapes. This was before, but let's see some SEO example. I will override the document shape template from a theme, and it will have only just a very small new content when it opens, and it will be, if I'm not forgetting, Matterport tag, and then Visual Studio is not freezing, but it is freezing as it looks. Okay, so if you want to add some meta tags or other tags to the output, probably the most simple way is to start with a document override, a document shape template override from a theme, or of course from a module as well. Layout is an equally good choice for some kind of text. So you can see I've added this noindex follow robots meta tag to the document shape, and now it should be also shown in the output. So this very simple technique could be useful if you have a site online but don't want to show it to the world yet, and you just you just email away the link, and you don't want search engine spiders to index your content. Actually, then you like I think to use nofollow as well, but this probably won't hurt. And there should be this tag I've added to the end of the head section. So if you want to alter the form of the markup, just go ahead and override some shapes. Another thing, probably very important, also from a user experience point of view, is to have nice URLs. After Orchard 1.4, Authority is handling mostly handling URLs and the alias module. So you have nice, clean URLs, search engine friendly URLs out of the box. But you probably want to configure it right away, and you may want to include some keywords also in the URLs. So, for example, if your site's pages are about koalas, then you may want to alter the settings of the page content type and make the URL include the keyword koala. So let's see. I've just opened the page content types editor, and under automated settings, you also see this these tokenized text boxes, and I can add a new URL pattern Oh, it's almost working. So it will be very cool. And it will include the slide. This was the left key now. And a dash, but it's not working either. Okay, it will be this. So you probably want to have a virtual directory or a directory-like structure. Here I just go with this messed up one. Let's see how this works when I create a new page. So yeah, we have this new pattern here. It won't affect, of course, existing pages. So this sample page here, it will have the same URL, but when I create something else, yeah, and not that. Then it will now have this new pattern I've defined. So if you want to optimize your page for KWW, this is the right way to go. Yeah, and speaking about URLs and linking, sorry, you probably want to have a good internal linking structure for your site. So having menus is one thing, but you may want to have multiple links linking to the same pages. Probably the more simple way would be to just add breadcrumbs, because the new navigation module has the ability to create a widget that displays breadcrumbs. So I already have a main menu widget here that displays the main menu, and let's add the same with breadcrumbs. Actually, let's add this. And this not to the navigation zone, but before content. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's breadcrumbs, and display main menu as breadcrumbs. I tend to add the first and the home page and the current element to the breadcrumbs. I think it's better to have a complete path this way. Yeah, as you can see, here the breadcrumbs are displayed. If you have a menu hierarchy, then more items will be displayed here. Also, a very good thing with 1.5 is the content picker module. So when you have related content for pages, you may want to attach the content picker, a content picker field to it. Yeah, I forgot to do this, so let's do it now. I'll add the content picker field to the page. It will display just a button where you can select other content. I think we have already seen it here, but let's see it from a search engine optimization point of view. You see, now I can select related pages for this page. So let's say sample page 3 is related. And now when we look at this, it displays all the related pages linked here. And so I think in WordPress there are plugins for that to automatically generate such links from text, but here you have a fine control over what you want to have related, and this is good for internal linking. Thus, it's very good for user experience as well, and search engine spiders will love it that they can easily crawl your site. Sorry, Sebastian has just demoed the cache module, so I won't do it again. But it's noteworthy to say that speed is also pretty important for SEO. It's also a debate, like pretty much anything in the world of search engine optimization, but it won't hurt if you have a fast site. So the defaults of the cache module are just good enough for a start. You should totally experiment around. I just like to say that don't be surprised that when you first try the cache module out, it won't have any cache pages here, even when you visit the page. That's because it deliberately doesn't cache logged in page views by logged in users. So you want to look at your site from another browser or by logging out. One very simple demo, again, is to override the not found shape. Because as you may know, there's a different shape, or an independent shape for the 404 pages. The default one is nice enough, but you can use 404 pages for better user experience, or maybe to boost your SEO, your search engine rankings a bit. Again, because when you open now a not existing page, it will have this override I've just included. As you may see, it includes 2 links. So when a user hits a not found page, he or she will see some options to go ahead. So it's not a dead end. You can show the user some other options too, and you can boost important contents on your site with that. And one other notable thing for search engine optimization is to have sitemaps. There's a pretty good module on the gallery. It's called Advanced Sitemap that adds such options to the admin menu. You can select which content types you want to index for a sitemap, because it periodically generates, actually once a day generates a sitemap, and it places it under sitemap, under the past sitemap, but I'm surely able to open or not.
Copy paste.
Yeah, but I don't have the string here, but there it is. Okay. So it also has an XML. It also generates an XML sitemap. As you can see, Google likes this, for example. Also, Yahoo has some sitemap format. So this module generates it automatically, but it also adds a sitemap for users under the simple sitemap URL. So here you have all the contents that are of the types selected for indexing here. Sorry. So these are the already released modules, but you haven't seen onestop.seo yet. It's a module made by the requests of the SEO gurus at OneStop. It will be soon released. We still have some cleanup to do, and we have to remove some OneStop specific configuration options, but it will be released shortly. But this module does. It also adds some options to the dashboard, where you have first you have global settings. Home, title, description are pretty self-explanatory, so these just set. Yeah, I forgot that on W is set. So for example, home title naturally overrides the home page title tag here. And description sets meta description, keyword, and keyword meta keywords, of course. But this section is more interesting. This module contains a new part. It's called SEO part. And here every content type will be listed that has SEO part attached. Now pages have So I can configure a title format for pages. So it can, for example, include the content author and naturally display text. So this way pages will have these these patterns in the title. Sorry, I don't know why I can't speak now.
You can't type, you can't speak. What kind of speaker are you?
Try saying W.
But it's a great presentation so far.
Hi, I'm Zoltán Lehóczky. Since the original sound of the session went missing here, this is a posterior recording. So we are seeing here is the title pattern for the search pages, because this is configurable with one-stop.seo as well. So as you have seen, we have configured a small title for search pages, and now if we make a search, we will see that it's indeed in the title. Search title patterns are configurable just as any title patterns with one-stop.seo, so you can include arbitrary text and query string parameters as well. This now includes the Q query string parameter, that is the search query. And we'll soon get back to auto-generated descriptions and canonical URLs.
Canonical URLs and the auto-generated descriptions are some nice to have features. Canonical URLs are just the display URLs of content items, and it's here. So it has just the display URL as a canonical URL to the head, and auto-generated description is here. It takes the first 150 characters of the body text. There are also, and I will wrap up very fast. There are two rewriter pages, at least for now. Then you can override the automatically generated results that were generated after processing the global patterns. So you can see the title pattern that was set for page is generated for all pages. You can override it per page. Well, you could if I could type, but trust me, it works. And it also has some nice side features like a character counter, because it's best to keep titles as short as possible. Yeah, it will be soon released, so you can explore it. I won't go any further, especially because I don't have my sound. So thank you, and I'm awaiting questions.
I'd hate to ask if there's any questions, and I want you to suffer a moment. Are there any questions?
What do you think about things like schema.org, where they have like item scope, item property type things, so that if you had a website like blog post, it makes it easier for search engines to, I guess, identify that it's a blog post and that, you know, who the author is. I mean, are you thinking about anything in those in terms of this SEO module, or how that could be automated?
Well, yeah. Thank you for the question. Yeah, such tags are very missing from the markup of forged content items, or it's a point of paste. But the scope of this module is decided by one-stop. But since it will be published, everybody could contribute. So if you have a good idea like this, it is not currently in the scope, such tags. But if you have such an idea, you are very well welcome to create issues, and we'll discuss the options.
Anybody else? Thank you. very
Okay,
much.
thank you.